Okay, so I'm hoping everyone can see my screen. If not, please interject. Now we covered this aspect of why law, right? Some of you want to be a lawyer, some of you want to take up civil services, some of you want to know what the law is. So I think we've established that you don't go to law school to just become a lawyer. There are a plethora of options that you can explore. But that one hurdle that's standing between you and law school are the law entrance exams. So there are quite a few exams that you could take to get into law schools. But the primary exam, right, which most people elect to take, especially when they're fresh out of school, is the CLAT exam. Now, some of you who might be pursuing law as a degree, yes. Sorry, did anybody say anything? Okay, I'm just going to continue then. So some of you might not just, some of you might not elect for a 5-year legal course right after school. Some of you might opt for a 3-year course, and exams like KLEE help you get into universities which provide this. So I'll first talk about CLAT because that's what we are going to be focusing on first. But like Arjun said, we will have another class for KLEE as well. So if any of you are planning to take a class specifically for KLEE, please come back to us so we can consider that as well. So now moving on to CLAT. For CLAT, there are 5 subjects that CLAT, a law aspirant taking CLAT should focus on. These are GK and current affairs, legal reasoning and legal knowledge, logical reasoning, English, and quantitative aptitude. Now, the other exams, right? Exams like AILET, LSAT, Symbiosis Entrance Test, KLEE, the Aligarh University's test also focus on these subjects. It's just that they don't follow the same pattern as CLAT does. So some colleges, right, for their exams wouldn't include quantitative aptitude, or some colleges wouldn't include legal knowledge. It might be just legal reasoning. So from this, what we can conclude is, if you were to prepare for CLAT, at least prepare for CLAT based on the guidance that we give you. You will be, in essence, you will be able to crack the other exams as well. Now, to help you a little more, if you can, after the class, maybe you can write to us or call us, and if you can tell us which the other exams in addition to CLAT that you are focusing on, we'll be able to give extra guidance on it. Okay, now CLAT coaching or entrance coaching is something that most other coaching centers can give you, right? And this is something you know. But what sets us apart are the 5 stages of getting into law school that we give special emphasis on. So the first one obviously is subject knowledge. So if you don't know any of the 5 topics that I'd listed earlier in the other slide, it becomes extremely difficult to crack CLAT. So that's where our expert mentors and expert coaches come in. They teach you these things. We provide materials. Now, the materials that you'll be getting would be in the form of tests and study notes and occasionally videos. And these materials has been prepared by experts who've cracked CLAT from national and private universities, including universities like NUALS, where I went to, and even NLSIU, which is a tier 1 university in India. So that's where the subject knowledge aspect comes in. Now comes the right techniques. So there's no point in knowing topics if you don't know how to apply it, right? And especially when it comes to competitive exams like CLAT, which has a limited amount of time to crack these questions, you need to know what techniques work. In addition to this, you need to know what techniques works for you. So one technique which works for one of you might not work for the other. So this is another area that we provide a little bit of attention. We provide a lot of attention to. We will also have experts from the psychology background come in and speak to you about memory retention and other study techniques. So this is not something you will find in any other coaching centers. Third is the application process. So before the entrance exam, before you write your entrance exam, obviously you will have to apply to the universities or for that test, right? So something that I have faced as someone who took CLAT and something that my students have faced is a lot of trouble on how to go about applying. So this could be finding out which universities you should apply to. It could be figuring out the application process for one particular exam, or CLAT, for instance. So CLAT requires you to list out universities of your preference, right? Based on the rank. Sorry. So CLAT requires you to list out universities based on which university that you would want to go to. So let's say if you want to go to NLU Kochi because it is closer to most of you, you would have to give that a rank 1. But there are a lot of factors to be taken into consideration when making these applications or choosing these ranks, which you might not know because you may not come from that background, right? So this is where we will guide you on how to go about the application process. Now, the fourth one is the post-exam counseling phase. Now, most exam centers might tell you, we've prepared you for the exam. Now that the exam's over, you're on your own. But we don't believe in that mantra. We feel like you should be handheld at every stage of your exam preparation until the moment that you land yourself in the university of your dreams. So even after your exams results come out, there might be a lot of confusion on which university to go to, right? Maybe you might have gotten into 3 different universities and you don't know which one to go to. Or maybe you might have gotten a slightly lower score and there might be a process wherein a second allotment list might come up, which would give you another shot at getting into one of these universities that you might not be aware of. So we will come in and tell you how to go about this. Or some of you might be considering repeating a year, right? Because you weren't able to give an attention in the previous year. So these are also areas where we will come in. We will hold your hand and make sure that you've reached your destination. The fifth one, and this I think is the most unique of them all, is the doubt clearing session guidance. Now this can be in 3 forms. One obviously is the classroom session. This is something that's familiar to you, where during your classes, if you have doubts, you clear it, right? There's nothing unique about this. Now, the second and third one is something that you wouldn't have access to, wouldn't have had, wouldn't be familiar with, because this is something unique to us. Now, we will have our entrance classes generally on Sunday, right? So what if on Tuesday, when you're taking a test on, say, critical reasoning, you realize there is this doubt that you have to clear without waiting for another 5 to 6 days for your next session, right? So what you do is you log into our Telegram group, post your doubt there. Within 48 hours, we'll make sure that your doubt is cleared. And at a later point of time, maybe in the next class, you want to revisit this again, you can. So that's the Telegram group session. Now, the third one is an add-on session. So let's say you want one-on-one time with a mentor or a coach to discuss a topic where you want special attention, right? Or you want to clear a few doubts. So we provide one-on-one sessions, but this would be an add-on feature where you can book a session with one of our mentors. So yeah, do you guys have any doubts regarding any of this?